Hey guys, hopefully you guys can see me this time and hear me this time. I am trying out some new software and it's just not going well for streamings, but I wanted to hop on today anyway and at least get a blind community chat out this week because things are very difficult for me right now, but I still want to just stay consistent with you guys and check in with you guys, tell share what some of the latest and greatest news in the blind community that I have been observing here lately, and just see where you guys stand on these issues. And yeah, just kind of you know check in with everybody. So if you're new here, welcome. It's been a very difficult stream so far day, so hopefully you'll still continue to stay with me and check future broadcasts out as well for more content on disabled life, blind life, tips, tricks, hacks. And this is just our blind community chat series that I do 1 to 2 times a week. And I am going to share some news that will probably impact the frequency of our blind community chats and knock it down to 1 time a week. So that's where you're at. My name is Cindy. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to this episode, we're going to just kind of go over, like I said, some of the latest hot topics that I've been noticing in the community across different social media platforms and see where you stand on them. One is quite controversial. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that bait out there. And then, yeah, I'm going to share just kind of some personal stuff that's really going to probably impact the frequency of and just kind of activity here on the channel. But I wanted to at least log on today to see how you guys are doing, check in, and yeah, just catch up with everybody. So I'm going to give everyone just a few minutes to get those notifications because today was a bit of a surprise. And I just want to give everyone a chance to join us. So if you have checked in on the second attempt for the live stream today, go ahead and say hello in the chat next to me. Hopefully you all can see and hear me this time around. I hate trying out new software, but I'm really wanting to switch my the format and how I stream and everything live, and just adding some new features, some new elements and things that just make it more interactive for everybody. Even adding some like audio description and stuff, even for text and things that I've learned is possible. But like with all things new, when it comes to software, it just takes us a long time to work out those bugs. And technology is one of those things where it can be quite time consuming and tricky figuring it out as a blind individual. So, and I have to say, of course, none of the streaming platforms that I've come across, I've tinkered around with 3 or 4 of them, and none of them have been very accessible. So it's quite a difficult task so far. So I'm going to just do the old school way that I typically do and kind of chime in on your all's chat here and see who is with me. So go ahead and say hello so I know who's with us, and um, we'll get started with some news and updates. Give me just a minute. This is just one of those days where I almost struggle with patience for myself more than patience with other people. Sometimes it's like I always want to get in a hurry. I just want it to work out. Just daggone it, work out for once. And then I end up losing more patience for myself. And of course, then I get text messages from everybody and their mom. Like I said, y'all, and I've said in other streams, it's Murphy's Law. Like as soon as I go live, I start getting messages from everybody. Let's see. Okay. Um, Okay, think I have got it. Yay, you can hear me. Okay, so I've got your all's chats going on now. And Ray, thank you so much for. I saw that Ray that you were on that first attempt, but yeah, I cannot. I have to like literally manually like add in all the different sources and devices on the computer. It's I don't know. It's like a technical nightmare. I'm not great at coding. I'm not great at all this stuff. This is it's like it's dabbing into technology and computer world that I am not. It is just not my strong suit. So I'm glad you can hear me now. Oh, many blessings to you too. Thank you. Hey, I'm so glad. Yay from Massachusetts and Canada. Okay. All right. So I'd love to hear where everybody's from. So as y'all know, I'm from Kentucky, currently living in Tennessee, and it is a rainy, stormy day. So it's just one of those days where it's like just not a lot going on, but it's like ironically, it's just one of those things where it's like the weather's just reflecting a lot of my emotional struggles right now. And I'm going to get into that in just a bit and why that's going. I'm going to try not to cry, y'all. We're just now starting to stream. I can't cry yet, but just some difficult things that's been going on. That with me that just it's going to require your all's patience and compassion here on the channel to just not unsubscribe and just know that, hey, I'm going to be back in action and keeping up the usual pace, hopefully here pretty soon. So first, I just wanted to kind of dive into the deep end super quick, my friends, and talk about some of the controversial stuff I've been observing on TikTok and Facebook and some of the across the platforms as I kind of tune into the blind community here lately. And so I did not see too much content around this topic, but enough that it's like, wow, okay, people are legitimately thinking about this and it's worth having a discussion because it is quite controversial and a difficult topic. So I saw some videos regarding blind and visually impaired individuals either wanting to own slash use a gun, firearms for their either I don't know if it's for their own like personal safety or out in public or at home protecting the homestead. I have no idea. It doesn't matter really. I'm just wanting to know what are your all's thoughts on this. I believe there has been a court case actually. I don't remember how long ago. I just remember I need to maybe Google it. I just remember hearing about it a long, long time ago, a while back, about how an individual did take their case to court, stating, you cannot not sell me a gun because I'm visually impaired. It's still my right, that kind of thing. And so this, y'all, I don't want to. This is not a political discussion. As y'all know, I don't really like to dive into politics, so it really doesn't matter what side of the fence you fall on, my friends. This is really just kind of a moral thing of like, just because we can, should we? Sort of thing. And just where do you find yourself morally checking yourself? Do you feel like where are your comfort levels and how would you see the community as a whole, responding to this issue of gun ownership and training and all that stuff, despite being visually impaired or on the spectrum of blindness. So I'm going to jump on that. I want everyone to just kind of ponder your responses. I can't wait to check out the chat and see, where you fall with this controversial thing. I know it's one of those things where it is a very, it can evoke a lot of very strong feelings. And when I first saw these videos and content creators in the, blind community, posting these things, it doesn't matter what it is. It was the fact that they were posting on this subject. It just like I had some very strong personal responses to it. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, if I'm feeling this strongly about it, I know there's a lot of other people feeling this strongly about it. And that means we should probably have a chat about it. So I'm going to let everybody just chime in with their 2 cents. So here's the question. Uh, Posting it out there just one more time regarding blind and visually impaired people. Should we use a firearm in the situation of a safety concern or crisis situation? And the follow up questions here then would be, are we the best ideal candidate to do so in a if our safety is in question and or there's a crisis situation, are we the ideal person to respond? My next follow question too, my friends, would be, if there is training programs out there and there is a trainer willing and comfortable enough to work with someone visually impaired and on the spectrum of blindness and train them to use a firearm, do you think that training would be sufficient enough to make you comfortable or comfortable with someone else on the spectrum of blindness responding in a safety or crisis situation with a firearm? And so you go down the pipeline of questions. There's a lot of avenues to explore here. Again, this is nothing politic. I don't want to discuss rights. Of course, it's the current law is what it is. Everyone has a right. And so, really the question is self-checking our morals, self-checking ourselves, and having enough self-awareness. Where do you fall on this topic? Are you comfortable with others and their where they fall on this topic? And let's just be respectful. We're not being judgment or passing judgment or being judgmental here. I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm not going to say right or wrong. um, you know, my personal opinions are my personal opinions, the same as your personal opinions are yours. And opinions are fine and great, but they are our own. And I'm not, though I feel very, very strongly about this, it is my own personal response and feeling. That does not mean it is by chance, something that I'm going to just wave my judgment wand across the world and say it should apply to everybody. So that's a pet peeve of mine. I hate it when people get their judgment wands out and just want to sprinkle the whole world with their opinion and think that, it's the end all be all. So that's not the case, my friends. We want to respect everybody and their perspective. We don't know what backgrounds and what issues people have. I mean, there's people out there that have gone, full military career, but due to some sort of, incident in their military service, they have a visual impairment now. So does that negate all of their training thus far with a firearm? I mean, that's the kind of thing I don't want to. I just want everyone to keep in mind that there are so many different situations, circumstances, backgrounds, and everyone's own individual journeys that we should respect and with our responses. So I just want to throw that out there. And just, yeah, I would love to hear your personal opinion. I'd love for everyone to have a voice and to weigh in. That is the whole point of these blind community chats. I want everyone to represent, but in doing so, there is a tactful, respectful way of doing that. So, all right, let's check in. I'm curious. Hello. Yes, right. I too am I too am barefoot. Welcome to the chat. Remember to mark your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Learn more. Button. Custom emojis. Button. Chat message input. Chat public is. Rafael Toro VIP. No constantly even having the right to buy one. Page 2 of 2. Okay. Rafael Toro VIP. No constantly even having the right to buy one. All right, so no gums for you. Yeah, I agree. I'll go ahead and just kind of share where I stand in my personal responses to this question is if I can't see it and I don't know where I'm aiming, I don't need to be shooting. That's just my personal. I don't want the responsibility of um, not being of benefit and assistance. I feel like I have a lot of other skills that would be of benefit, that I could say that without a doubt, and I would I would be able to assist in that, in a safety situation, in crisis, in other ways. And I have, gone through some self defense training and such, so that I can, respond appropriately with my own person, as far as my own personal safety goes. And so I hope there aren't individuals out there that feel they're in the situation where a firearm is their only resource or their only way of feeling secure and safe, because there are so many other resources and safety measures and things that we can do. And so that's where I stand on it. I feel like if I just like I don't have enough vision to get behind a wheel, and because it would be putting other people's safety and my own at risk. I don't need to be firing a gun because it would be putting other people's safety and my own at risk. So it's just that's just how I feel about it. I don't. So one of the videos I saw, one of the women was, kind of bringing up a very interesting and unique perspective, and that she's like, if a robber was coming into my home, most of the time it's always in the dark anyway, so like what's the difference shooting in the dark versus a person on the spectrum of blindness shooting? And I'm just like, I get that perspective, I get it, I understand it, but still I just don't want that responsibility. I don't, like I said, I think there's other means that I'm personally um, prepared to respond in that situation without adding a gun and firing, just kind of willy nilly. So, all right, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I think that I totally agree with that statement. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all have the right to defend ourselves. And that's, um, yeah, hang on just a second, guys. Aylin, you're gonna have to wait a few minutes, sweetheart. Aylin, you can figure it out, baby girl. Okay, then just, what is it? Okay, just go to the bathroom. Okay, guys. Sorry, guys. I've got a sick one at home today, so I might have to cut this short. But I will definitely be doing a follow-up stream on this. So if you want to catch the next, we'll do a take two here, and maybe on Thursday. We'll see. Yes. So yes, great point. I mean, we all have the right, and we all have different means in doing so. So I think really the question here that I think we need to approach this with is just the self-awareness, to know, okay, are we the best ideal person to respond in a beneficial way that's going to really assist in this in a situation, and are we the best person and candidate to do so with a firearm, basically? And I feel like my answer is no. So I have looked into other means of doing so. But I don't know if there's any training programs out there that are accessible. I'm really curious. How would you approach training a person on the spectrum of blindness to use a gun? And how would you know what you're firing, you're aiming at? We all have those little adaptive techniques that we use to speak to people. So a lot of the times we intuitively adapt by following the sound when we're speaking to people, and then we're guesstimating, placing our eyes in that general direction of where a person is talking. And so it's kind of like sometimes we use these kind of type of echolocation type of skills. And so would you use those same skills? I have no idea. I'm very, very baffled. How would you, as a person on the spectrum of blindness, use a firearm safely and appropriately? And how would you, what are some methods and tools to adapt in that way if you feel like that is your best and only option. So, yeah, I'm going to put that out to the world. I have no idea. Like I said, no judgment. Everyone just post your opinion and just know that it is your opinion, and we're not waving a judgment wand around and applying it as God's ruled for mankind. And yeah, I'm just really curious. So, my daughter is now beckoning me here in the next few minutes. So I'm going to, I am just going to briefly end this very, very quick check-in with everybody and let everyone know. So I just recently discovered my brother was diagnosed with cancer. And this has hit me pretty emotionally hard. And there's just been a lot of other family things going on as well with my own kids. And I've just, it's just a lot of it, things that have really played a heavy toll on me that I've just really needed some extra time to process through. On a good note, though, I have also started a new job, and it's a very part-time job, but I am now an accessibility, and so as an accessibility tester, that's, it's happy employment. And so, but that's going to take a little bit more of my time. So as I'm adjusting to all these new changes, that's kind of interfering with, just rescheduling, and just trying to figure out how to block the different chunks of time. So that's it for me, my friends. I'd love to hear y'all's comments. So if I've missed anything, or if y'all want to just continue chatting in the comment box after I conclude today's stream, I would love to follow up with you guys there. And yeah, thank y'all so much for just checking in for this quick blind community chat. And hopefully we will pick up again here on the next time around, and we'll really be able to dive into some of the other news that I didn't get to today, but hopefully next time we will. And look forward to chatting with y'all again. If not Thursday, next Tuesday. All right, my friends, blessings to you and yours.